Dobar dan svima iz Beograda, iz ofisa Britansko-Srpske komore. Danas imamo divne govornike i drago mi je da možemo da predstavimo promociju vodiča za izvoz povrća i voća na tržište Velike Britanije. Ovaj put smo krenuli još u februaru, martu, pre velikog sajma hrane u Velikoj Britaniji u Londonu, IFE, gde smo imali 25 kompanija, od kojih je 10 bilo od strane FAO projekta. Možemo reći da danas imamo divnu čast, da imamo divne govornike, stručnjake, a takođe i da objavimo da će jako brzo biti gotovi vodič na našem jeziku, na srpsko-hrvatskom. Ja bih krenula prvo sa našim govornikom, čije vreme jako je busy, ali je izdvojio danas vreme da nas ugosti, da nas vidi. Good afternoon, Your Excellency. How are you today in Belgrade? Your diary is very busy, but you've been yesterday in Vojvodina and met all lovely people from the food and beverage, I'm sure. Share with us about Serbia and the region, and before that you were in Bosnian ambassador, so you know very well what is happening in this particular sector.
Jadranka, thank you very much, and dobar dan svima. It's great to be with you all today. And I won't say very much because I think you've all joined to hear from the experts rather than from me. Just a couple of quick things up front. Yes, I'm the new British ambassador, so if we haven't met, then it's great to be almost meeting through this means. I have been here for just about 4 months, and I am really ambitious to grow the UK's trade and commercial relationship with Serbia. And in that, of course, the British-Serbian Chamber of Commerce is a vital partner. And it was great to be at the opening of their new office in the centre of Belgrade just on Friday. As Jadranka said, actually yesterday I was in Novi Sad and I met a range of people, including the Chamber of Commerce of Vojvodina, the northern Serbian, very fertile agricultural region, and also Biosense Institute, which is in some ways revolutionizing Serbia's approach to agri-tech. And so, really quite a relevant warm-up for this session, which is around how to really support and enable Serbian producers in selling into the British market. With the Chamber of Commerce in Vojvodina yesterday, I was talking about the real ambition that there is on behalf of producers in that region of Serbia to grow the connections with the UK. A number of them have already been and exhibited in the UK. I know that many more will hopefully be at the ITE event in the Excel Centre in March next year. But really, I think today is about the guide that the Council the Chamber has been working on with some fantastic experts who are all online. So I won't hold you back from hearing from them any longer, other than to say a huge thank you. I think it's really important to demystify, to simplify as much as possible these processes, and to provide really practical and pragmatic guides so that we can find the effective ways of growing this partnership. So I'm really grateful to everyone who's been involved, who's put their time into understanding all the complicated rules and regulations that will come out through this guide. But overall, hopefully they won't be complex once you've read this. And what would be brilliant is to see lots of wonderful Serbian food arriving in British shops and markets.
And Western Balkans as well, Your Excellency, and Western Balkans products.
And the Western Balkans as well, absolutely,
Yes.
Absolutely. Great, so I'll pause there. Jadranka, back to you.
Thank you very much. That's great. Thank you. It was lovely to have you today. Well, the next speaker, we have our chairman, Dr. David Lensman, who has been following us, what we are doing for many, many years, David. And the first time when we at IFE, we had only 2 or 3 companies, then we had 10. But this year, David, there are more than 10, and there are lots of variety of the fruit, vegetables, the products. And I don't think I share more because I believe this particular guide is going to help us and help all the producers from the region. So don't be scared and just go export to the UK, and it's fabulous work. So David, share with us your views, the flavor, the taste, what you tried when you were at IFE.
Well, thank you very much, Jadranka. And I just want to thank the ambassador for taking the time to come and join us as well at this webinar. But absolutely, I was, of course, in Belgrade last week for the opening of the Chamber of Commerce's office in the centre of the city. But I live in the UK, so I have a very strong personal interest in Serbian food producers exporting more to Great Britain, because that gives me many opportunities to enjoy food from the region here in the UK. The Chamber is really delighted to have been able to support this project. What we do is support business equally in both directions, exporting from the UK to Serbia, but also from Serbia to the UK. So this is very much our business, to help Serbian producers export to the UK. Food is one of our priorities, and as already been said, we've been very much enjoying hosting Serbian producers at both the Specialty Foods Fair and also IFE every year now. In the spring, the Serbian stand becomes bigger and bigger with the support of the Serbian Chamber of Commerce, the Vojvodina Chamber of Commerce, and of course the producers. So enjoying all of those Serbian products, natural products, the Ivar, the truffles, the fruit juices, I must say the wines and the rakias as well, and a great number of other produce, talking to the fruit and vegetable growers and seeing just quite what a high standard of Serbian products is available. And it's available now in the UK, so my friends and I can go around buying Serbian products. That's a big step forward, and we're delighted to have been part of it. The third reason that we like being part of this is because, as you said, Jadranka, it's not just Serbia, it's the whole Western Balkans region. And as a chamber, we are really keen to support the growing cooperation around the region in a very practical way by working with companies from across the region when that's possible. So just thank you very much from me to Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, to the European Bank of Reconstruction and Development for their support, to all our experts and all the people who've made this webinar possible. But not just a webinar, it's not just an event that we will half remember. There's a real concrete outcome, a practical written guide that people, I hope, will be able to use and probably update for a very long time to come. So we're delighted to have been part of this real success story, but thank you to those who've made it possible.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much. And now we have third speaker, that's Miloš Milovanović, who is specialist za podršku investicijama u agrobiznisu, Organizacija za hranu i poljoprivredu Ujedinjenih nacija FAO. Dobar dan, Miloše.
Dobar dan, Jadranka, dobar dan, hvala vam na pozivu.
Ovo je, evo, od februara smo se potrudili da što više uradimo i evo, biće jako brzo i online. Imamo prvi cover kako će izgledati vodič. Do sada su napravljena već 3, jel tako, Miloše, za izvoz u Middle East, skandinavske zemlje i United States. Ja se izvinjam, na engleskom je lakše da kažem. I evo, finally, vi ste, Miloše, prepoznali kao organizacija koliko je u stvari tržište Velike Britanije, a pogotovo posle Brexita, jako bitno. Prepoznali su da postoje neke barijere, nismo ni sami shvatili koje su to, ali sada sa ovim vodičem se nadamo da će biti mnogo lakše i drugačije. Kako je vaše mišljenje, Miloše, posle ovih nekoliko meseci saradnje?
Da, Jadranka, hvala vam mnogo. Pre svega na samom početku ja želim da pozdravim Njegovu ekscelenciju, sve učesnike i vaš tim i sve okupljene danas ispred FAO, Organizacije za hranu i poljoprivredu Ujedinjenih nacija, ispred našeg partnera Evropske banke za obnovu i razvoj. Ove dve kuće, ove dve institucije dugo sarađuju, već 26 godina i pogotovo puno sarađuju na prostoru jugoistočne Evrope. Mi smo prepoznali zajednički sektor agrobiznisa kao sektor velikog potencijala u ukupno 37 zemalja ukoliko mi sarađujemo sa EBRD-em i verujemo da ovaj sektor nosi ogroman potencijal sa sobom. Verujem da smo ovaj potencijal samo dotakli, samo zagrebali i ovo naše iskustvo saradnje sa vama, Jadranka, sa celim vašim timom u Britansko-Srpskoj privrednoj komori, a opet usmereno, kako je već rečeno danas, na ceo Zapadni Balkan, na sve zemlje Zapadnog Balkana, mislim da je jako korisno i drago mi je da je i njegova ekscelencija prepoznala naše napore i naš rad u proteklih meseci. Kao što je gospodin Lazma rekao, današnji skup je samo jedna od aktivnosti, naših zajedničkih aktivnosti, ali ovaj vodič nudi upravo ono čega smo se i dotakli, operacionalizaciju koraka za mala i srednja preduzeća, za kompanije koje žele da budu aktivnije na tržištu Velike Britanije, koje tamo vide šansu za sebe, pogotovo u oblasti voća i povrća, bez obzira o kojim kategorijama voća i povrća govorimo, da li sveže, da li smrznuto, prerađeno. I to jeste simplifikacija, kako je lepo gospodin ambasador rekao, simplifikacija koraka koja je potrebna da se preduzme kako bi se našlo na ovom tržištu i drago nam je da smo mi kao projekat mogli da pomognemo. U tom kontekstu mislim da su ovo mali praktični koraci, ali jako bitni za veće učešće proizvoda sa Zapadnog Balkana na tržištu Velike Britanije. Nadamo se da će na ovaj način vidljivost Zapadnog Balkana na tržištu Velike Britanije postepeno postati veća. Naravno, ovaj vodič i naš današnji razgovor, verujem, će biti online dostupan i kasnije ljudima da pogledaju kad god žele, da se detaljno upoznaju sa procedurom nastupa na ovom tržištu, ali mi mislimo da smo kroz projekat koji je već na samom, ovo je praktično jedan od poslednjih događaja koji organizujemo projekta zajedno sa vama, on je već više od 3 godine praktično u implementaciji, kako je on nazvat, projekat podrške i diversifikacije izvoza zemalja Zapadnog Balkana. Verujemo da smo uradili puno za bolju vidljivost proizvoda sa Zapadnog Balkana. Fokusirali smo se pre svega na voće i povrće, ali smo radili i u sektoru vina, radili smo i u drugim podsektorima agrobiznis sektora, kako bi olakšali svima koji se nalaze i koji posluju u ovom sektoru, bilo da su oni iz privatnog sektora ili javnog sektora, da sagledaju neke mogućnosti koje su pred njima, koje možda nisu u dovoljnoj meri iskorišćene. Kad se govori o izvozu sa Zapadnog Balkana, najčešće se misli o izvozu na takozvana tradicionalna tržišta. To je tržište Evropske unije, tržište CEFTA regiona i to je potpuno i normalno. To je prirodni ambijent. Ali u 2023. godini ili da kažem u 21. veku postoje ogromni potencijali, ogromne mogućnosti na drugim tržištima, udaljenijim tržištima, a opet mislimo da ove mogućnosti nisu ni zagrebne. U tom konceptu smo se i odlučili na izradu ovih vodiča, to je bila samo jedna od aktivnosti pod okriljem projekta, pa smo obradili tržište Sjedinjenih Američkih Država, Nordijskog regiona, Bliskog istoka, sada i tržište Velike Britanije i ovi materijali su izrađeni na jedan način koji je vrlo lak za, uslovno rečeno, konzumaciju, za korišćenje od strane korisnika, simplifikuju i sintetizuju sve korake koje su potrebne da neko ispuni kako bi se pojavio kao izvoznik na ovim tržištima i imamo jako dobra pozitivna iskustva u ovom periodu iza nas od strane korisnika ovih vodiča. Uskoro će biti vodič za UK dostupan i online, pozivamo ovom prilikom sve da ga downloaduju, da ga pročitaju, da ga koriste, da ga distribuiraju među svima za koje veruju da im može biti od koristi, a mi ostajemo na raspolaganju u ovom kratkom periodu pred nama, koliko je još projekat aktivan, da podržimo izvoz sa Zapadnog Balkana sa još nekim konkretnim akcijama. U tom smislu ja bih zastao ovde, Jadranka, zahvalio se vama na organizaciji ovog skupa, svima koji su se danas priključili ovom skupu, kao i onima koji će gledati ovaj skup online u nekom periodu pred nama. I dajem reč ponovo nazad vama i našim govornicima koji svakako imaju šta da kažu. Hvala vam.
Hvala Miloše, hvala puno. Htjela bih samo da napomenem također da u posljednjih kuća stalno raste trend između, reći ćemo sada između Srbije, ali i cijelog Western Balkans zemalja prema Britaniji. I to nam nešto pokazuje. Tako da se nadamo zaista da će i u oblasti u ovom sektoru bit će još više, ali ono što želim da kažem jeste kao i vi Miloše, nije lako, it's not easy. Ništa nije lako, pogotovo kad su zemlje kao je Britanija, morate preći more, pa imaju druge zakone, pa je Brexit. Ali je jako dobro da znaju da postojimo svi ovde za njih i da uvek mogu da nas pozovu i da ćemo uvek biti tu da savjetujemo i da pomognemo da dođe na tržište. Ja bih sad završila ovaj prvi deo Miloše. Mi ćemo krenuti pa će pitanja koje imamo kasnije se obraditi vama. Naš Dr. David Lansman, His Excellency, unfortunately, zbog veoma busy schedule, neće ostati sa nama, ali imamo uvod. A ja bih sada prešla na jedan drugi deo, gde zaista imamo divne govornike, stručnjake iz Britanije, koji su nas u stvari pratili sve vreme, savjetovali, koordinirali i čak posetili Srbiju. Prvi gost danas je profesor dr. Chris Bishop. Profesor, jeste tu? Oh, sorry, ja govorim na srpskom. I'm terribly sorry. Professor Bishop, are you there? You don't speak Serbian? I'm sorry, I was calling you
Serbian. No, I'm very conscious of that. My apologies. That yes, I'm here, and I'm very conscious with whatever I may say. Forgive me if I repeat stuff that, for instance, Milos has just said. And I'm very aware that if I may just quote William Shakespeare, the famous British playwright, there's nothing more tedious than a twice told tale. So forgive me if I say something that's already been said.
But there is something important, Professor. You visited Serbia during the wine fair, and yes, you managed to even meet one of our producers. So we met them at IFE, then you came here to really see about producers. They've been exporting everywhere in the world, but Britain is the new market for them, and we can't wait to see them. They're already in process. Share with us from when you saw them at IFE, the product, and then when you went to see the production, what did you take with you on that visit?
Well, yes, as you say, I met them as I met a number of other people from Serbia and the Western Balkans last year in London. We talked about various matters then, and we then sort of explored one or two thoughts and possibilities at the very early stages. But I do quite a lot of this sort of work with various different countries around the world, and I'm conscious that sometimes people will build up. They will give the impression that they have got much better facilities, much larger quantities, much more equipment, shall I say, than they have. So I was very keen to come to Serbia and to visit one of the companies, which I did for a whole day. We visited. I was at Stanic for the whole day, and I was very impressed. The product was good, but also the flexibility, the quality of the facilities, the equipment was all of a high standard. Yeah, as always, in every way you go, you could always make improvements, but no, it was very good. It's very good, and I think there are clearly, not just from that visit, but from other things that I've seen, and I have a nephew who lives in Belgrade, that there is various, good quality products, and I think there is significant potential here in Britain for those products, if targeted to the right market, packaged in the right way, but also having what we refer to as, and I know it was mentioned in one or two webinars in the past, the service package. It's got to be the the desire, and I very much feel that the company I visited very much have this, to try and provide the whole package. It's not just a matter of providing whatever the fruit or vegetables for 2 or 3 months of the year at an attractive price, because most British companies are looking for things on a more long-term relationship than that, so that they have got confidence in their supply, the uniformity of that supply, and that both sides are speaking the same language. You don't have to, not everything has to be sort of explained sort of 3 or 4 times. And I don't mean by that language inabilities, but it's just sometimes cultural. I mean, I've had problems, not in the Western Balkans or Serbia, but with other places where people have talked about large fruit or medium-sized fruit and assumed that the other side are talking about the same thing. And sometimes what to one person can be a large apple, to somebody else can be a medium-sized apple. And so you can sometimes get confusions. But I think there's got to be a desire to, and I hope this publication will help, to try and get people to be more specific on those matters, but also appreciate that it's going to be what we want is long-term relationships, both ways. And I think that's
Professor, Professor, from the factory when you went there, what could you take when you saw, did the company tick all the boxes, which we had in our guide, which our audience will see very soon? Or would you say 70%, 80%? I know there is a room for improvement, but is it good enough for the UK market?
I think yes. I think it certainly is good enough for the UK market. I think the danger at times is that people think of the UK market and they think of supermarkets, and that's all. And it may well be that it's good enough for some of the supermarkets, or perhaps for all the supermarkets, but there are other things that are important as well. And particularly with certain products, such as frozen soft fruit, probably some of the bigger markets are in the food service, supplying certain restaurants who are going to be doing things like smoothies or large amounts of sort of berries at breakfast time and this sort of thing. So I think it's, yes, I mean, I think they're ticking, most of the boxes, not all of them. There are always going to be issues on the right sort of packaging, and I'm aware that sometimes people in Britain want a 450-gram package, which is the traditional equivalent of the old pound weight, rather than the standard, which many other people want, a 500-gram package. And it can be things like this that can be, I think everybody needs to be aware of. But yes, I mean, I think they are very much in the situation where, ready for liftoff could be a good way to describe it. Yes, so I think, there is, big potential, but I think, the British companies, and I am British, can be difficult and awkward, as well as charming, of course. But they can be, they are looking for long-term relationships, and they're wanting, to be sure that they're going to get this uniformity of supply. And I think, that is something which, for my one visit to Serbia, yes, I mean, there's, I think there can be people providing the right, but it's providing it for a long enough period and with confidence that everything's going to be good enough all the time. And that is something that some companies and some countries find difficult to fully grasp.
So, Professor, can we say that the Western Balkans, and you visited in Serbia the production, we have elements. We have quantity. We believe there is a good quality. Standards are all there. So the guide will be soon ready. The only what we miss is that the UK market, the British market, is more aware of the region. And we've been working on that very much. So as you're aware, people start learning, because a lot of products used to come via different routes. But now when you have to put origin of the product, we start learning that some products are coming from this part of the world. So can we say that we might see double next year in the UK? There is no reason why not.
No, I don't think there's no real reason why not. I know they did a survey throughout the EU when Britain was part of the EU, and the people in Britain are probably the most conscious of country of origin. But there is no reason at all. I am aware that when I talk to people and saying that I've been in Serbia or Northern Macedonia or whatever, people say, oh, you know, what do they produce? And they're not really aware. But I think there are, you know, some big potential markets there. And yes, I think that, you know, we could be talking of doubling the exports in the next year of fruit and vegetables to the UK.
Well, excellent. I was thinking to go next to Simon Waring, who also is advisor on the guide, but I'm going to change now. We're going to hear from Peter Wright, now that you visit the company. Let's hear from him what he has to say after we heard all from the British experts. Petre, good afternoon.
Please don't use the word expert.
I thank you for those kind words. And first of all, I would like to welcome all of the attendees of the this guide and this webinar. I would like to thank you, Professor, for your visit, and of course you, Jadranka, for all of the support you are doing for all of the companies from Serbia, with helping all of us to be competitive on the UK market, quite demanding market. And of course the FAO and the Chamber is doing a huge job there for us promoting our in general products from Serbia. So from all of the branches, so thank you for that. I would like to start with let's say for all of you that who don't know, a short presentation about our company, and then I will tell you my impressions in doing business with companies from Britain. So Stanic company is a family-owned company, which we are really proud of. It is operating for over 30 years in food growing and processing, and we export to all of the markets that are already been told in the by prior conversations here. So all over the world, mostly Europe, western part of Europe, but also Middle East, Scandinavian countries, America, and where we were, let's say, not so present, it was the Great Britain. So we started doing that and exploring that market, and there where we see quite a large opportunity to grow, especially in the future. So we export over 25,000 tons of all of the berries to all of those countries, and I will now, let's say, focus with our experience to only the United Kingdom, where we have several of buyers, where we have started the cooperation with industrial bulk pack products, and now in the last years, 2 years, we have evolved and started to doing conversations and the cooperation with even retail chains. So it is a slow and steady procedure that needs to go. I believe that all of the people that are looking this webinar know that opening new market is hard, and especially going directly to the retailers. It is something that is always planned for all of us to do, but it is a process that needs to go on. And I advise everyone to be well aware that the British market is demanding, but like it was said several times in presentations and in webinars that we have prior to IFE exhibition last year, well, this year. It is who can manage to do the British market can do anywhere in the world, you know, quite demanding with the certification, with the professor mentioned the facilities. So everyone needs to be aware. It is not something I say to you know, fear someone, but it is something what we need to be aware of, all of us, that we always need to improve. And even that we thought that all of our, well, some of our facilities are really high in equipment at the moment. Professor, while he was visiting, also suggested us some few remarks where we can improve ourselves, and which are already been done in I can't really say western part of the Europe or in Great Britain as well, you know. So it is something that is understandably to have, and which something that is still catching up in our market and in our organizations. So those are, let's say, a few words. Great market, excellent with, let's say, paying the goods, but of course that is something what gets to the another end of the stick, where you need to deliver the exact high quality product for such a demanding market. So, you know, it is good thing to do a business with Great Britain companies.
Thank you, Petr. So shall we say we have 10 chapters, which I'm sure everybody will be seeing soon. But those chapters, I believe they're very important, Petr, because when you look, so it's difficult, I hear, oh, it's very difficult, I don't want to go there, or it's easy, but we don't like this. But actually, it's not all about that. Britain is a very unique, I know every market is unique, but you notice, Petr, how unique and different it is. And do you think you tick all the box for exporting to UK, or you're missing some puzzles yet? Or there is some...
No. Yeah, there is always a space, like mentioned, to improve, to check, to expand, you know, always different buyers, different perspectives of the buyers, you know, like Professor mentioned, a really wide range of the different type of for example, packaging and palletization and everything, you know, always a good thing to do a business, because you can always learn something new, something that is not so implemented in other markets, by the other buyers. So I can really say that those buyers from United Kingdom are, let's say, setting the trend in some of the categories. And especially when talking about packaging and palletization, you know, that is something where we can really learn a lot.
Thank you, Petr. I will get back to you, but I heard you are going to visit next year, IFE. I heard somebody told me.
Definitely, yeah, definitely exhibition to visit. So we are always, you know, going to exhibition, visit it. Let's say all of the Europeans exhibition last year, it was the first thing to visit, to see London, to see that exhibition. It is a recommendation for everyone to try to go there to see, you know, a different perspective. So looking forward to the March this 2024.
Right.
Yeah.
In 3 words, what do you need if you like to get UK market? Shall we say, start with, we need standardization. You must have it all. But there are more, 1 or 2, 3. There are more you must from your experience, Petr.
Yeah, I will always say high quality product and pretty much, let's say, hard negotiation, conversation about the quality of the product. But when you agree on that terms, then, you know, you need to stick to it. So with all of the other markets, you can, you know, really get some loose change sometimes and avoid some of the agreed terms. But with Britons, it is up to the agreed, you know, everything. So they are pretty, let's say, on the book. What we agreed, that is what we need to stick to it, and I really like that. So it's a good thing to do. Yeah.
Excellent, Petra. Professor Petra, now what we will do, we have Simon, who is an expert on premium food specialty, and also we have a wonderful company, Serbian, who attended. Let's hear from them. We'll get back to you with the questions. Thank you very much. Simon, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm very well. It's getting chilly in Belgrade from Serbia. We are visiting this week. I would like to introduce Simon. Simon was advisor on our webinars, also for the guide. Simon is an expert, very much so, on the, may I say, premium food speciality. That's why you do so well. And you know, Britain is your market, you know incredibly well. But how about the companies from Western Balkan? Do you know them now better? Do you know well? Do we miss something? And what is the secret after you've been with us for many, many months, Simon?
I think I suppose the secret is hard to summarize in one sentence. If you could do that, then everyone would have the answer and everyone would be incredibly successful. But I suppose the most important thing is is to make sure that you're communicating why you have a point of difference. I think that's probably the most important thing for the UK market. We're a very cosmopolitan market. We are very keen on new products. So we are, as Peter was saying, we are quite demanding. That's true, but also we're always looking for something new. So that could be something that's authentically Balkan or Serbian in terms of recipe or ingredients. It could be about the branding of the products. It certainly has to offer something that's a little bit different from what we already have on the shelves in the UK. So that's what buyers are looking for. And if you have something different and you're able to tell your story in a meaningful and compelling way, then you have big opportunities. Price, of course, is part of any commercial negotiation, but it isn't, fun enough, the overriding factor, really. I think there are scope for more premium products in the UK than perhaps some other markets. We are keen to pay for value. When we talk about value in the UK, it doesn't just mean low prices. It definitely means a combination of quality and a good and a fair price, an appropriate price. So don't be shy if you have a more premium-based product. You can still definitely succeed in the UK market. Just make sure you have a clear message about why you're going to add value to what currently is in the UK market. And if you don't know the UK market well enough, obviously come and visit us or chat to us, and we can guide you in terms of what's going on in different categories and who the competitors are and how to price your products and so on. But I guess have something different, believe in it, and tell your story well will be the key messages.
Well, it's easy to say, you know, everybody wants to say that everybody believes they are the best. Why not? But to get there, Simon, since we had the COVID, and particularly year after that, there are lots of new trends and new changes in new products, as you mentioned. What has happened in the last several months? You've been in lots of exhibitions. You've been in Europe. We had IFE in March. Do you see any different? What is that the British market is looking for?
I think during COVID, most of the retailers tried to simplify their buying, and that meant that inevitably some smaller producers or some new innovations had to wait their turn because they just wanted to make sure there was enough food on the shelves for shoppers to come and buy. Since COVID, there's been much more of an explosion of interest in having new differentiated products. So the retailers compete with one another. They want to be seen to have something there for their shoppers, which isn't also available at the store down the road. They've certainly been paying a lot of attention to competitively priced products because of what we call the cost of living crisis in the UK, because of the high rates of inflation. If you can offer products which are more competitively priced, that's definitely been more on the radar of these retailers. But I sense that that's beginning to turn a little bit now because inflation has has come down from its peak. Prices are still going up, but grocery inflation is now in single digits, whereas it had been up to about 17 or 18%. Buyers are always looking ahead. They're always thinking about the next 6-9 months, and they're already thinking about what they're going to be buying midway through 2024 or even later than that. And the forecasts are that interest rates probably won't go any higher. They may start to come down by midway or later on in 2024. So there is that much more scope for higher price products, and certainly more premium retailers like Waitrose, for example, or Ocado, the online retailer. They need to show how they're different from mainstream supermarkets. So they'll certainly be looking to increase their ranges of premium products.
Very interesting. I noticed a lot of private labeling. For example, I think it's Sainsbury's. Purely by accident, I saw one ginger drink. I bought it. It sounds interesting. I have to say, since then, I haven't stopped. And this is interesting. You have a buyer who just saw something that ginger, and I bought because I was curious. And it is great. And I can see more and more new coming in different retail stores. So they compete. They're looking for the new, interesting, unique, healthy products. That is my feeling in the last several months.
Yeah, that's true. And you said own label. That's again, it's a very important part of UK market. It's own label products have been growing at twice the rate, at least, of branded products, which is not surprising when the economic environment is a bit difficult. But own label products in the UK tend to be much higher quality and higher price, relatively speaking, than they are in many other countries. So the share of private label products is already over 50% in terms of the volume of products. But in terms of the value of products, it's also very similar to that. So it's not just about the cheapest possible prices in own label. We're discussing at the moment also with Sainsbury's, for example, the certain range of products that may come under a new super premium own label, because they're noticing now that people are doing less eating out, which costs money, and they're preferring to have that eating out occasion, the quality meal, if you like, at home. So the retailers are thinking this is definitely an opportunity for us to go for, to have even higher quality products that imitate, if you like, the restaurant experience, because consumers are happy to pay a bit more money for that from a store, but it'll certainly be a lot less money than if they went out to a restaurant. So we're noticing opportunities there, definitely.
Excellent. Thank you, Simon. I hope you can stay with us a little bit longer. The reason why, we have one very interesting product, which is Vladimir Tomov. Are you with us? It's called baby food, but it's not baby food. It's a fabulous juice. You met them at IFE.
Yes, hello.
Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I hear you loud and clear. And first of all, I want to say good day to everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation to, let's say, be a part of this webinar, to have the opportunity to speak and to share our experience and part of our path, our way. But also I heard a lot of interesting stories from the professors, from my colleagues from Stanic. So a lot of things also to learn. So thank you very much for the invitation. And yes, I'm here and I hear you loud and clear.
Well, we can see, I am in Belgrade. I have been here for 2 weeks. I can see everywhere your products, the lovely juices, they're fabulous. But what is your experience, Vladimir, since you visit UK market? It was in March, has been for several months. Did you tick all the boxes from the guide? What is your experience in that particular very, very competitive market? Share with us whatever you can share. I know there are lots of negotiation in contracts. I wouldn't go there, but what can you share and take from so far? What have you been talking? And is it that difficult to get into the UK market?
Yes, thank you also for the question. I will only add the comment on your comment that we are present everywhere here in, let's say, all sales channels. Let's say, hopefully in few years, it will be the same situation on UK market. So let's say we are working to be like this. Yes, as I said, thank you for the invitation and for your question. I will give a small introduction about our company, just to understand in which positions we are now. We are a young company, started with operations in 2018. And the name of the company is Baby Food Factory. But as you said, we are not only baby food producers. Because of, let's say, good and modern equipment, we expanded all range. Basically, we expanded range to all generations. So now we are offering products from babies to let's say smaller kids, and at the end for the adults. So basically, with all those brands, we are covering all generations, and one of our main brand is Nutrino Lab. Those are 200 grams fruit purees that you are mentioning, and this is, let's say, our I can say most selling product, because I think that we have good results in sale for all the products. But let's say it's one of our top priority for export markets, because based on the knowledge and based on the results and reception from the market, firstly on domestic market, then in markets in region, we saw that we have a really, let's say, unique product in we can say unique packaging, but the packaging who is also new for the market, very convenient to protect the product, and very convenient for consumption. So our plan was firstly to build a strong base on domestic market, then to expand the business in a region, and then third phase of our let's say development is to enter on export markets. We made a thorough analysis of the Western European markets, and one of the two markets that is most interesting for us is UK market. I must be completely honest and say that to all the participants, that Miss Jadranka had a great support, but a great, let's say, great advice and everything in our expansion toward UK market, and we are very grateful for this and for all the cooperation and help through this process we had from you and your team. It was a long process how we prepared ourselves for the UK market. So I would just briefly speak about it, because if we go in detail, I think we can speak until tomorrow. But for example, first of all, we targeted UK as a for us very interesting market in western part of Europe. Then we analyzed it thoroughly. So we analyzed the competition, the potential sales channels, the, let's say, consumption on the market. Are there the same or similar products to ours? Then we decided to, let's say, firstly, be present on UK market through some exhibition show. It was IFE in March, as you mentioned. So we also used this opportunity to present our company and products to the market, but also to see on the spot some retail chains and some let's say things which are also very useful for us for our analysis in regarding to the UK market. So basically, we are still, let's say, in the process of be present and opening the UK market. I completely agree with my colleague from Stanic. He said One thing which is very true, I think that we can all agree that be present on some new market, on some other market, to open this market, it's let's say very long process which needs to be well planned and analyzed. So as I said, we made the analysis of the market. We were present at IFE show, where we presented on the spot our company and products. After the fair, we started negotiation and contacts with a lot of let's say potential partners we met on the fair. With some of them we already started cooperation. With some of them, the negotiation process are still open. So I believe we're on a good way for sure. We are, let's say, comparing to the same time last year when we started to analyze the market. So we, for 1 year, I would say that we upgraded our knowledge about UK and about our presence there for let's say our position now is uncomparable to our position last year. So I would say that we are on a good way. We need to stick to our plan. I also agree with the constatation of Mr. Simon that we need to have product which differentiate from others on the market, to find what differentiate our product from the competition or from the existing products on the market. Our plan was based and analysis was based on this. So now we are following, let's say, this plan, this strategy of let's say going out to the UK market. And yes, with all the help that you are providing and supporting all the time, I think that the success, I would say, is only a matter of time. So with positive thoughts, I hope that we will achieve, let's say, same results as on other markets where we are present.
Thank you, Vladimir. One more thing I would like, everything I heard from you now, I can see that actually in the premium food, you ticked lots of boxes, and those boxes from the guide. So you need to analyze first, you need to learn about the country and the market, which you did before you came to IFE. Then you were part of the FAO project. Then you went through the mentoring sessions. Then you came to the IFE. That was quite experience for you. If I remember, you were quite surprised about huge interest at the pavilion. But then comes the most important part, is negotiation, is understanding who is who. Why should I be with this distributor, not with the other one? How do I negotiate? Do I have several of them, or do I go with one? Yes, you have all certificates, that's correct. You have interesting package, fabulous. For me, I love it very much. But now in the last stage, is that one where you have to make the right decision. And sometimes it's not easy. We don't know what is right decision before we really make that decision. That's the key. So I hope that the guide we have done, which will soon available for everyone, and from the experience you're sharing with us, that the new producer who are looking for the UK market, it'll be very, very helpful. I hope that's true, Vladimir, from your experience, what I heard today.
Yes, completely true. I can only agree with you. Your words, sessions organized before, for example, the IFE show was extremely helpful for us, because basically from one side we had and we made our own analysis of the UK market, but we heard for many valuable data and information about UK market on the sessions, for example, before IFE. So honestly speaking, I heard many useful data through the conversation with you and your team. So concerning our approach to the UK market, those guidelines are extremely useful for us, because from someone who knows the market that much as you and your team, and when I said your team, I think all the people that you gathered on this project, I think this is extremely helpful for someone who look at UK as a, of course, great market to develop and like great potential. But when you really start digging for all the informations based on which you will make your plan and strategy, you will lack many information, and this is where I find your help and the help of your team and all the information and support that you're providing to us much helpful. So as I said, I completely agree with you, and this was very useful for us. But as I said, we are just on the way, so we are not on the end of the road. But I would say that we are on a good road. We are on a good way, and we just need to continue like this to give our best on this process, but also to track all the help and all the guidelines which is provided by, for example, this project, because they are very useful for someone who are willing to start business on UK market.
Thank you so much, Vladimir, for today, for sharing with us your experience, and I hope it will be very useful for everyone who are listening. Right now, I would not here to close. There are no questions, but I would like to share with you that perhaps I'll go back to Milos, who actually is the FAO, who kindly with EBRD and FAO help us with this project, Vladimir, and Peter is still here, and all our wonderful consultants from the UK, to really help and to overbridge all those difficulties, which shouldn't be difficulties. I don't believe the mission is possible. I believe every mission is possible, but you have to go step by step. Vladimir, I don't know if you have to go. I know also you have a meeting, but I will go back. Is there anything you would like to say now? Hello? Sorry, my line is cut. Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Milos, Milos, are you still with us? Oh, Milos left. Okay. Right. In that case, Milos has to go. Everybody seems 1 hour is more than enough. We don't have a questions. What I would like to do, I would like to invite all audience, and everybody more than that will share with you that next year IFE is in March. We are looking forward to see you all. Please, if you would like to attend, let us know. You know where to find us, British-Serbian Chamber of Commerce. Dear Professor Chris, thank you very much for all work, everything you help us, and being with all producers, and as a friend, I would say. You spend lots of good quality time. Simon, I know you're still there. Sorry if we keep you, I know 4 o'clock you have to leave. Thank you again for all help. And I keep saying everybody thank. Milica is here, who has been also very good support from FAO. On that note, I would say good afternoon to all from Belgrade. And I'm looking forward to see you all next year at IFE. And in the meantime, if we have any other project or we have any question, I wouldn't stop asking. As you know me, I'll keep calling you. So thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
And see you soon.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you very much. All the best to all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.